So we want to open the Pivo app, hit the bottom button, red button to connect it. That brings you into video mode. So if you haven't used it before, you want to hit the button to the left of the red circle and make sure that you're choosing horse. And then you want to have a look at settings. So settings are to the right of the red button. Auto tracking speed works great for um, basic work. Walk, track, canter. If the arena is big, even a little bit of jumping works out. If you're doing anything at speed, especially if you're coming somewhat close to the Pivo, they do have some presets, and there's some other things you can do. You can toggle off auto, and you see it goes very fast. I think there's even a turbo. Yeah, it's beta, but so there are options if you are doing speed. But for what we're doing, the auto works very good. That way, if you go a little fast, it will stay with you, but yet if you're walking, going slowly, it'll also stay. Auto zoom on, target exposure. I tend to turn it on. It's good for if you're in a dark arena, maybe in the horse is dark and the Pivo's having trouble um, staying on the horse. It targets the horse a little more specifically. Also, in very bright situations, a gray horse with a light colored footing. Um, Sometimes the legs just blend in. I don't see anything but light colored. So it's very good for that. I leave it on. I don't find it affects me one way or the other if I'm not in those situations. Okay, so then we want to move on to sending a lesson. So you're going to swipe. There's a little toggle at the bottom. Swipe left once to lesson, and it wants you to turn your phone into landscape. So when you're looking at the side of your phone, the top right, that little people button you want to push and invite coach. So there's two ways to share. There's text or email. Some people email me consistently and I get it no problem. Some people email me and I never get it. So they text. You can do either. If you send me an email for the first time to see if it works, pay attention to your text messages because if you should have do not disturb on for a lesson, but that means you won't get my messages or I can't even call. You have to, swipe up. I'll do it. Swipe up out of here, go to your text, see if there's anything, and then come back. So if the email fails, you just repeat that process. Instead, send it to text. If for some reason, and I've only had this happen one time, I'm not getting either. You can hit copy, and that would copy it. You do the same thing. You would get out, go to your text, paste, and send it to me. Again, it shouldn't be a big deal. So I'm not going to hit invite and start yet because when I do, it cuts off my recording sound for some reason. So once you do that, it just gives you a picture of where you're working, and you want to put it on the Pivo. So this is important. So it has to be level, or the horse is not in the middle of the frame. And if it's at the top of the frame or the bottom of the frame, it will still track, but it won't zoom because it'll cut the horse out of the picture. So what I tell everyone to do, especially if you're alone, if you have somebody else there, it's easier. They can move it around. But if you're alone, is to use the standard mount. Use the bubble leveler on it. Take your phone out of the case and put it on the Pivo. If you do all of that, it will definitely be in the middle. If you have a smart mount, it's a little more difficult because it moves around. So what you have to do with that is you have to look at the screen and try to put the far ground line right in the center of the screen so that when it zooms into that end, the horse is still in the middle. All right, I think that's it. It's a great tool.